It's absolutely insane to think crypto accepted by 60% of WEAPONS and equipment suppliers for the Ukraine. That's a heck of a lot of equipment suppliers that are now being funded in crypto. 60%. So huge profits are coming into these massive companies, these for-profit companies that are providing all of this equipment. It's crazy to see how this has ramped up, and the scale that it's happening on is also pretty insane because so many people are getting rich from this. But what gets even more crazy is that a lot of these companies are accepting Dogecoin, which means Dogecoin, a cute dog currency that's the future crypto of Earth, granted, is now being used to fund this. Now, this has now taken, at this point, hundreds of thousands of lives. We have seen a massive decrease in global stability as a result of this. It has caused huge economic problems across the entire planet. We've also seen that on top of what happened with the world situation just before this, those two things coming together to provide a really brutal impact on the world scale, and all of this only to get us significantly closer to WW3, which is, of course, the most terrifying thing about it. Elon Musk has been calling this out because he's worried that we could actually be on the verge of it, laughing at WW3 memes, kind of being worried about WW3. Yeah, that's very true. That's exactly how I feel. Very relatable meme, Elon Musk, and you can see some of the comments underneath. This meme is for Loop. Nobody's willing to negotiate. Something has to change. Our support will be lasting and unconditional. That's crazy. Lasting and unconditional. By the way, take a look at this. Here's where the donations came in from. ETH, $28 million of the official donation pool. By the way, there are donations within Dogecoin, like I mentioned, that have gone to more specific pools, but the overall official pool, they did not choose to accept any others besides these. ETH, BTC, USDT, USDC, and DAI. Million for DAI, 1.2 million for USDC, USDT, 11 million, BTC, 22 million, and ETH, 28,985 million. And here's what's crazy. The president of Ukraine, Zelensky, just came out and said that if China and Russia come together, then that is going to lead to WW3. He's straight up saying it. He's basically, in a way, insinuating that it needs to happen, that they need to be stopped. And now they're starting to team up to some degree. It's terrifying this is happening, and there's not much, it seems, that can be done to stop it. If there's no one who's willing to actually go negotiate, and there's no one who's willing to actually try to make the hand forced here, it does not help at all for Ukraine to just delay this even longer on. Okay, you give them a bunch of equipment. Okay, now they last another year, and then still they end up losing in just as equal of a fashion as they otherwise would have. It's just, at this point, I mean, at first, I could understand getting behind. It makes sense, right? You want to get behind the country that is the victim here. But as time goes on, you start to realize that there really are only victims. There's no way for this to end in a positive fashion. It's just going to get worse and worse the more time that goes on. And so it needs to find some conclusion. The longer, the worse. It's definitely scary to see. We also have this, by the way. Massachusetts man charged after hiding crypto mining rig in the school crawl space. Genius move. All of those mining rigs were hidden down there. He was using electricity from the school. Actually, very impressive that he was able to pull this off. Now he's in big trouble. He's probably going to go to spend some time in prison. So don't try this at home, kids. But I have to give him some credit. I mean, it's pretty genius. The school system abusing our money anyway, our taxpayer dollars. So if you want to look at it that way, you can justify his behavior a little bit more. I mean, it's still not. I mean, at the same time, though, I guess then we'll have to put more taxpayer dollars into the schools if more people are doing this. So, I mean, we really shouldn't encourage it. But at the same time, I mean, you got to kind of give him a little bit of credit. The only thing is he did it too much and he got caught. If he'd done a little bit less, maybe he would have been fine. I'm not sure how much money he made from it. But I imagine almost all of that will be coming back out of his bank account and probably going to the school or something along those lines. I mean, that'll probably be the consequence here. All of that stuff. Maybe he'll be able to avoid time in the slammer by just funding the school with all of the money he made from it, which, by the way, is still going to be at a profit. Yeah, he was getting free electricity, but still at a profit, which is important to keep in mind. Dogecoin Ride says, CoinMorge Telenomics, hey, you want some of the good stuff in Dogecoin. Now this, I happen to like this meme a lot. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful memenomics here. You see, he has the Dogecoin there. Now, Dogecoin, if we look at the current trajectory of it, we are seeing a very, very, very big wind here at the November to March area toward the end of 2022. Now the beginning of 2023. This area here has been at a level of resistance above the bottom point of around 5 to 6 cents. So that's an encouraging sign. And the trend lines of the averages over longer periods, you can see the green, the blue, I believe that's the month and the year trend line. Both of those looking very encouraging because they have flattened out, and they were on a very downward trajectory for quite a while there. Now they flattened out. That's typically a sign that we have a floor and that we're getting ready to see a spike here for Dogecoin in the near future. Now, keep in mind, we may have this happen first, and then we're screwed. So, as long as WW3 doesn't happen, then we'll live long enough to see Dogecoin take off. That's all we can pray for. Come on, we don't want to see WW3. We want to avoid it at all costs. Elon Musk, I'm glad we have Elon trying to actually resolve things. He's doing a better job than any government on the planet is of actually trying to fix the problem. And also, something interesting, he actually shut. This is kind of crazy. So we'll go. I'll show you this. Meet Kevin, who's a YouTuber, I think is pretty cool. The only thing I don't like about him is that for some reason, he really likes Jim Cramer a lot, which doesn't really make any sense to me because Jim Cramer's terrible. So that's a little bit of a red flag there. But besides that, he makes good content. He's a very inspiring story, and he posted. Oh, you know what? Dang it! It was on his TikTok. That's the thing about Twitter. I want to be able to see. We'll have to go all the way to TikTok now in order for me to show you this. But what Elon Musk did in Ukraine, pretty fascinating and pretty clever as well. And it shows you the type of dude he is. It shows you the way he thinks. Okay, I don't know. I don't want to see ASMR from some random old dude. What's going on here? Well, why did it show me this? Like, that's the recommended video to people? ASMR from some random dude? I mean, come on. What's going on here? Let's go to Meet Kevin. Pull it up. Meet Kevin. There it is. Real Meet Kevin. You can see he posted, I think it's a few videos back. Well, it won't take too long to find it. Oh, here we go. Elon Musk has officially turned on God mode in his words. I wouldn't personally use that term, but it's fine. It's close enough. I mean, I get it. He's their fight against Russia. Disabling, though, is what he has done. Any kind of Starlink internet on the front lines, basically discouraging. You can see right there, discouraging any offensive and only allowing the defensive. Pretty fascinating that Elon Musk was able to think of that, and I mean, it's actually smart. It makes sense. Especially considering the fact, well, I guess that's not really necessarily related, but it is weird to consider the fact that they really, truly, in my opinion, responded as bad as they possibly could have. Elon Musk said, hey, I'm going to help you with Starlink. I want to make sure citizens in your country are able to get access to internet, but I really think you should find peace. I don't think this should continue on. It's really time to come to the debating table and come to some conclusions here, reach peace. Elon Musk tried to encourage it, and they all called him out, and basically they roasted him for that. And to which Elon Musk responded by saying, all right, well, you know what? It's very expensive anyway. We agreed to do it for some time. I mean, we're not going to pay for Starlink anymore. Then there's backlash against that, and Elon said, all right, hey, you know what? Fine. We'll pay for it. You guys are being rude. But I get it. Your country's still in a terrible position. We feel bad for the citizens there. It wasn't the citizens being rude, it was the government. So, I mean, we get it, right? Help the citizens. That's the right thing to do. And so I think Elon Musk did make the right move to continue on with his funding of Starlink in Ukraine, even though it's definitely unfortunate because so many resources on the global human scale are just being wasted. That's the biggest waste of human resources is WAR. And if it grows bigger and gets more intense, it'll just waste more and more resources, not to mention the countless lives that are just ruthlessly lost for nothing, seemingly. I mean, it never. What does it accomplish? What are we gaining from this? It's terrible. It really is. It's the worst thing you can possibly imagine times 10. There we go. That's a nice hand. The guy got the 6-9 going there. MoonPot, freaking rock. Hit those slots. I like it a lot. There we go. I like the way you think, Anthony. I want to ski in California. Or Colorado. California or Colorado. Those are the two places, the best places to ski. I've been skiing only on the East Coast. I've never been skiing on anywhere on the West Coast. I very much am looking forward to doing that. One day. It'll happen soon enough. Now I'm on the exact opposite of the West Coast. I'm in the tropics. So a little bit different. Smash the like button, says Marty Marr. There we go. Yeah, the ocean's literally right there. I mean, it's a mere 30 feet away, maybe. I mean, the beach is definitely 30 feet away. The ocean itself may be like 40 or 50 feet. But it's right there. It's very close. It's very cool. Trend is your friend. 0.04 or lower. Oh yeah, if you can get Doge under 4 cents, I mean, you're pulling a robbery. At that point, load it up. I mean, 4 cents for Doge is insane of a discount. And I personally doubled up my Doge at around 5.5 cents. I doubled up at exactly the bottom. You see right there? I literally, on that day, I doubled my Dogecoin investment. On that day right there. Perfect timing, right? It's sometimes, and I'll be honest there, part of it was reading the chart, part of it was my behind-the-scenes analytics, which aren't really so behind-the-scenes anymore because I shared them pretty frequently here on the channel. Part of it was that. Part of it was just instinct. You know, you can, at a certain point when you trade enough, you probably have the same experience. You start to get this instinct. You have a feel, and you know kind of when to buy. You just feel it. And so far it's been doing really well. My investment's up nicely. Even at the top there is up even more. But still, it's doing really, really, really well. And I'm very happy I doubled it up at that point. I would definitely do it a million times again. And I'm going to continue to buy more Dogecoin even at this point. That's just the way I feel about it. I feel like it's going to be the future. And we have a lot of reasons to back that up. It's not just a feeling. Massachusetts man, this guy though, I'm curious. What do you think his consequence should be? Should he have to pay all of the money as a fine? Should he have to go to prison and pay all the money? Should he just go to prison? What do you think should happen to him? At this point, I feel like as a cryptocurrency community, we're going to give him a little bit more leeway than maybe prosecutors would. And then by this happened, the town of Cohasset's Assistant Facilities Director Nadeem Mahas, 39, a suspect after a 3-month investigation. Nahas resigned from his role in 2022, so they knew it. It was the tech nerd. It was the tech nerd. They didn't even have to. Suspicion was him. Of course it was him. Of course it was the tech nerd. It was the tech guy. No one else knows how to do that. The tech nerd. Obviously, there's no question about it. I mean, the Assistant Facilities Director. Exactly. Facilities director, he's going to be the one managing the computers. He's going to be the one who knows how to do that. It's at that point you don't even have to point the finger around too much. Oh, yep, it was that guy. Nahas was charged with vandalizing a school, fraudulent electricity use in Quincy District County, according to ABC's Boston affiliate. Nahas failed to appear at his Thursday court, prompting his arrest to be warranted. He is accused of stealing near $18,000 in electricity from the school district. I mean, that's a lot of money for the average middle class worker, or especially if you're just starting your career. It's a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, 18K. I mean, he doesn't really, in my opinion, deserve like a hefty prison sentence for 18K. Just pay the 18K back. If you have to pay it in payments, then pay it in payments. I mean, he should have to pay 18K plus additional 18K. Maybe say, all right, your fine's 30K, pay an extra 12 on top of what you did, so we discourage other people from doing this, and boom, there we go. Because yeah, I mean, if you just the thing is, if you just got the 18K fine, then more people would do it because there's no consequence at that point. So there has to be some sort of deterrent factor, and the fact that the warrant's been issued for his arrest, I mean, the fact that he's not going in, that makes it even worse for him. I mean, he's in big trouble now. I'm glad I'm not that guy. It doesn't look good for him. I'm long on my crypto. Now is for my kids. A lot of people, crypto college fund. That's the way to go. If you want to press like, that's certainly a good thing to do as well. I love you, Matt Wallace, says Alex J Skates. Much love indeed. Alex, by the way, has been here since the OG days. Alex has been here for a heck of a long time. I appreciate all of Alex's tweets and comments here on YouTube as well. I love you, Alex. Twitter, Discord links are there, says Missile Silo. Interesting name for the topic of the video today. I'm long on my crypto now, and I wonder 18K. I wonder what the 18K made as well. So that's the other way to look at it. Probably he should owe whatever he made in profits. My guess is the 18K electricity, he probably doubled in profit compared to that. Which, by the way, we have a mining operation set up legally, not in the school. Fortunately, which is miningclub.io. The next round of issued rewards is coming out shortly here. It's not going to be on an exact month-to-month basis, and the reason for that is just because, it's just not. So, but 100% of it will go toward that. So I think it's better to kind of space it out a little bit further than 1 month. Actually, it's more just based on the market conditions. Whenever a certain amount is reached, or whenever we see a point where it seems like, okay, now's a good time to do it. I feel like that's the better way to do it, because then you're not every single month having it, even if it's a small amount that month or a large amount, you wouldn't have the same exact release because you get it all at once and you have to pay the mining fee every single time. Or not the mining fee, the whatever the fee is called, the gas fee. I know what the gas fee is called. You have to pay the gas fee every time, so it's better to wait a little bit anyway. So, it is what it is. But the next one coming soon, we're expecting ROI 2 years or less. So it's really, really good right now. Anyway, I'm at Wallace. This is Found Stand, and I'll see you in the next video.